Sugar-free products, more harm than health?
We have researched the consumption of sugar-free food products to determine the potential health detriments they can cause on children. It has been found that these substitutes can cause significant health detriments to both individuals and thus society as a whole. Due to our findings, we will be examining whether food manufacturers should be held liable for misrepresentation and advertisement of these products as a healthy alternative.
Throughout our presentation, we will first view the specific additives that serve as a substitute for sugar, as well as some examples of child-oriented food products that contain these additives. Following these examples, we will examine the health harms that these additives can cause both to the child consumer as well as society. Next, we will examine the potential market failure that exists, followed by potential changes that can be made through policy action.
In order to create a sweet-tasting flavor without including sugar, food producers must add artificial sweeteners to create a comparable effect. These sweeteners, aspartame, acesulfame K, saccharin, sucralose, and neotame, are each chemically manufactured in an attempt to create a calorie-free sweetener for their products. This creates a chemical that can be between 200 to 13,000 times sweeter than real sugar. While the chemical compounds were discovered long before, they did not become used in everyday food products until the FDA announced its approval in the 1980s. Of all the artificially sweetened sugar-free products, we chose to focus particularly on Breyer's ice cream, Diet Coke, and V8 Splash. Breyer's sugar-free vanilla ice cream contains the artificial sweeteners sucralose and acesulfame K, as well as other sugar alcohols to enhance the flavor. Diet sodas, such as Diet Coke, are sweetened with aspartame, while the sugar-free fruit juice V8 Splash is artificially sweetened with sucralose.
Though these studies were conducted with adults, we believe that these findings can be applied to children. Through our research, we found several potential health harms caused by long-term consumption of sugar-free additives. Several large-scale studies, including the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey and the San Antonio Heart Survey, have shown a positive association between artificial sweetener use and increases in weight and/or body mass index. One 8-year study showed that those who drank artificially sweetened drinks had a 47% higher increase in BMI than those who did not, and these studies also found an increased incidence of type 2 diabetes in those who drank artificially sweetened drinks. In addition, we found that sugar-free additives are up to 13,000 times more sweeter than table sugar. Thus, people who routinely use artificial sweeteners may start to find less intensely sweet foods, such as fruit, much less appealing, and foods that aren't sweet, such as vegetables, very bitter. This altered palate could lead children to avoid these foods, resulting in health complications and nutritional deficit in the long run.
The market failure here is that there is asymmetric information. Companies have more information about what sugar-free means and what products they put artificial sweeteners in. They also have a greater ability than parents to discover the effects of the artificial sweeteners they are using. Consumers are being led to believe that these low-calorie artificial sweeteners are a healthier option for their kids. In reality, there are serious negative health effects, such as an increased risk of type 2 diabetes, that parents are unaware of and the companies do nothing to warn consumers about. Because of this disparity in information and the possible health harms consumers face, the companies producing these products should be held to a higher standard.
In this market failure, there exists a situation of comparative negligence. While the producer is responsible to advertise in a way that does not mislead consumers to believe that a product is healthier than it is, consumers must also be responsible for what they are purchasing. Additionally, while the consumers of sugar-free substances we studied are young children, the purchasers are typically the parents or guardians of the child who must be more aware of health standards and additives. In order to help curb potentially detrimental health in society, we recommend the following policy or societal changes. First, manufacturers of sugar-free foods and beverages must implement labels on the side of all products that contain above a certain percentage of the aforementioned sugar additives. These labels will include information as to the side effects of the sugar-free additives in plain English for consumers to see. This will eliminate much of the ambiguity that exists, as current nutrition labels are often difficult to comprehend. For consumers, enhanced education must be offered in schools to teach young children about sugar-free additives, as well as online seminars must be offered to educate parents. These online seminars should be the combined work of the manufacturers and a nutritional company appointed by the FDA to determine the most appropriate way to educate consumers. A link to these seminars would be available on all manufacturers' web pages. Lastly, the FDA should sponsor public service announcements in print and telecommunications to further make consumers aware of these additives as well as where they can go to find additional information. While these efforts will not remove all asymmetric information within the market, it will help consumers so that they can make a more educated decision as to what they will consume.